Hello and welcome to the next episode of The Inspiring Entrepreneur. Today we have a very special guest with us, a medical doctor who's turned into a music composer, Dr. Neil Gandhi. Hi, Dr. Neil, welcome to the show.
Thank you, sir.
So, should I call you Dr. Neil or should I call you Neil?
You can call me Neil.
Yeah. So, hi Neil. I just wanted to know. First of all, let's start from the start. What about your education? So, after 12th, I think you chose to study medical, right?
Right. So I decided to get into medicine after completing my 12th, and that's how I ended up in medicine.
So, did you do it from India or?
So I completed from St. Petersburg, Russia.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's a 6-year course. So I was there for 6 years.
Oh, interesting. So, just wanted to know why is it that you chose, to get into a medical profession?
Oh, so my sister was into medicine, and so my sister was always into medicine, and that's how I chose to be in medicine as well. And I was I think 14 when I decided that okay, medicine is what I want to get into.
Okay, and so you completed your medical education. So then what happened?
So I completed my medical education in 2016, and that's when I was preparing for my license exam back over here in India, and I realized that this is not exactly what my calling is, and music was something that always kept me going no matter what. I used to be a piano player since I was 6 years old, and always had a passion of playing music and getting into music. So one fine day I just happened to tell my father that this is what my calling is. Music is what drives me.
So, according to what I've been told, I think since your age of 7 or 8, you've been playing piano, right?
Yes, I've been playing the piano since I was 6, 7 years old, and it's been almost 20 years that I've been playing the piano.
Oh, interesting. So, what did you do in your childhood? What are your activities related to music?
So my father was also, he used to play a keyboard, and since then my interest started developing into the instrument.
Right.
I started exploring on my own. Then I had few mentors who, taught me.
Well, so then what was that one fine day that you decided that, okay, now I want to, pursue, music as my profession?
Wow, that one fine day was when my father gifted me a piano, just after I complete my medicine. And he was like, this is your gift. And then I used to sit on the piano for like hours and hours instead of studying and appearing for the exam. I used to sit on the piano, compose melodies. That's where I realized that, okay, this is what my calling is.
Okay, and then what did you do?
And then after, getting into the piano state of mind, I one fine day happened to just tell my father that, this is exactly what, I want to get into. And he was like, okay, this is big news to gulp down. And after that, I got 3 months from my father, and he was like, I give you 3 months, you just see whatever you can, do in music. And that's how the journey started.
I think the audience will really appreciate and agree when I say that a lot of families, there's a lot of resistance when somebody wants to go into a field which is creative, where there's no guarantee of somebody getting work or progressing in their career. So, was there any resistance in your family that you faced, when you thought of getting into this profession, especially full time?
Yes. So initially, we did not have that much of encouragement, especially coming from a family where dad was always into the business, and mom was she used to teach English, social studies, and I had to select a field exactly after my 12th, what to do. And I was not mature enough to select music, because you don't know when you are 16, 17 what you want to do for another 70 years of your life.
Right.
And you don't know what your calling is at that age. So you tend to select something which exactly you don't know what you want to get into.
So what was the reaction of family members? What did they exactly say, and
So
how did you take care of that?
So initially there was a bit of a drama. Okay, dad supported it.
Right.
Mom took little bit of time to accept that fact. Then with the support of dad, I could slowly, accelerate that music wala thing into the entire profession.
Okay. Do you have any tips that for listeners that, how did you really convince your dad or mom?
The biggest convincing factor for me was that I started showing them success in music that I used to do. So my first gig after doing an internship for 3 months was Southern India, which was like a huge success story for me because having no background in music and doing the first gig at Southern India, I still remember that was the 6th April 2017 when my score was on air, and that was the first time where they felt that yes, Neil can do music.
Wonderful. So tell us more. So it's very interesting. Your first gig opportunity, that too in a very popular show like Saudan. So how did you get that opportunity? Were you working? What were you doing? And how did you go about doing that?
Right. So it was very interesting. It was very interesting that I was packing up my stuff while I was doing my internship back in Andheri, and it was 9 o'clock in the evening, and someone just comes through the door and is like, okay, we have an emergency delivery of this episode.
Right.
Is there anyone who could take care of? And everyone were fully packed with already the work that they were doing, and I was like, sir, can I just give it a shot? I was like, देख ले क्या कर सकता है types.
Right.
And I remember I sat at 9:15 till morning 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock. I was just completing the episode. It got approved and it was there on air. Immediately the next day.
I think it was your mom's birthday also. Yeah, that day.
Yeah, that's why I remember the date very nicely. It was 6th episode, Drugs in the Tiffin. I still remember the name of the episode.
Oh, interesting.
So one thing that I learned was that opportunity never comes when you expect it to come. Okay, you have to just be in the process, and the opportunity just comes one fine day. When you're ready, the opportunity just arises. So that's what I learned from this particular example.
Yeah, because you are about to leave for home,
Yeah.
and it was your mom's birthday next day.
Correct.
Or same day. How is it?
So the same night, 12 o'clock, we were about to celebrate mom's birthday, and I decided to stay back.
And you took up this opportunity. Wonderful. So Neil, it's been really 7 years for Neil Neeraj Music to serve the industry. So tell us, the kind of challenges that you faced, how you've resolved it,
Right.
and what have been the learnings in that.
So Neil Niral music came into the picture back in 2018 when I was, I got mentored by Neeraj, and we decided to get into the partnership in 2018. And there were a few challenges that we, used to face. The first being like, do we even know enough people to get into a partnership kind of a zone? Second, like, what is the genre of music that we are going to get into? And the third and the fourth, the most important thing was like, how are we going to navigate into the industry with no mentors no one to guide us. So these were the three main challenges that systematically we had to solve, which eventually we did. First, like, do we know enough people? Of course, the first thing was the skill as well. You need to have some skills to take it to the next level,
Right.
which we were developing by having a reference point in our career. Like, whom do we want us to sound like? So we did have those reference points in our mind. And the second one, like, was the networking. Like, do we have enough people to network with so that we can show off our work to them and attract gigs? So, yeah.
Okay. And so what have been, couple of milestones that you've really achieved in the last 7 years?
Right. So the first milestone that Neil Niral Music has achieved, was to sound as an individual entity. We should not be sounding as the another composer in the market. So we've successfully developed our sound, and at the same time keeping our originality in place. We have been able to convince people that, hey, we could cater to whatever you want. Like, it could be different genres. It could be romantic. It could be orchestral. It could be dark, or it could be sad. So we've been able to, complete those challenges by developing the skills that we have.
A lot of to-be entrepreneurs and entrepreneurs who want to scale up their business are watching this show. So, so many milestones that you've crossed. I think one more milestone you've crossed is when you made some anthem for a group of people, right? Can you just talk about that?
So that's very interesting, story that we have been able to. So I was given a task to create an anthem for Entrepreneur Social,
Right.
now known as the Gen Group. So it was a anthem that I created for like around 50 to 60 people who would come there, get motivated and network. So that was a niche that Neil Niral Music developed. That hey, anthem is something that drives people. It excites people, brings together. So we started with anthems. So we were pitching at different places for anthems. So we got anthem for Entrepreneur Social, for different cricket clubs, for pharma companies. So that's how things started moving for us.
Yo, so that became a product line in itself, right?
Itself, yeah.
Yeah, wonderful. So how did you crack, this contract of doing this anthem?
So my mentor, my life mentor, Mr. Suresh Menon, he was very much connected with this entrepreneur social group, and he was like, why don't you just come once and just be a part of the entire gathering.
Right.
So I happened to be sitting there, and I was watching the way people used to network over there, how the event started, how the event ended. So that's where I realized that there is no anthem over here. I just went up to the organizers and asked them that would you be open to have to be having an anthem? They were like, for sure, why not? Because if this is what motivates business entrepreneurs, we are okay doing that.
So you also talked about you doing a course, a music course from Trinity College, right?
Correct.
So what really inspired you to go for a course, and what benefits you got?
So the biggest benefit that I got from completing all 8 grades from Trinity College of London was I became skillful in composition. Because as I feel that composition is the most important part of any music that you develop, because that's where the product sells. So if I don't have a formal education in composing, people would not take me seriously. So I completed the entire 8-year course.
Oh, 8 years.
In 1 year.
Okay, 1 year.
In 1 year. So that's because so a lot of people who do Trinity College of London curriculum, they do it 1 grade at a time, and there are 8 grades. So it takes almost 8 years. For some it may take 4, but I completed in 1.
Wonderful, superb. So there's a great learning for all of us as entrepreneurs is that, with time we need to also upskill ourselves and also get accredited, because the certificate that you got from Trinity College would have also helped you a lot, right?
Absolutely, it did.
Yeah. Okay. So Neil, what is the other challenge that you faced in your music composing career?
So to name few other challenges, one was the networking that we have to get into, so that we know enough people and enough people know us, and the trust that we have to develop. So we were confident about the skill that we've got, and that is industry standard, because fortunately during the journey I was fortunate enough to be part of Jamate, which is Pritam Sir's company, and Neeraj is still an employee of Jamate, a full-time producer. So we did have the skill, but we did not know how to channelize those skills. And networking was the best way to do that. So I did, get part of a lot of networking groups, which helped me to upskill the way I talk, the way, I used to see people marketing their product, and I was just in the backside watching them, learning from them. And eventually I became better at with the entire process of marketing and talking, to be very precise, talking. And that's how, things have started moving and becoming better for us.
Yeah, so I think one great learning from this is that creating a product is one thing, but talking about it, marketing it, selling it is completely a different skill in itself. And especially in a creative field, you need to make sure that you showcase your work.
Correct.
You were also talking about developing your productivity. So in order to speed up your work, I think you worked very hard on that, right?
Right. So I understood that in order to deliver, you have to work those extra hours so that people are working in the same timeline, but your productivity becomes 2x or 3x probably. So I have a task that I get up at 6 o'clock and my day ends by 11 o'clock. In those time, I have extra 3 hours to work on my productivity, and that's how I go about it.
Just another candid question to you, Neil, is have you any time regretted, leaving a medical profession and getting into a music profession?
Well, I often get these questions, but I would have regretted being in medicine and not doing music. The very fact that right now I feel blessed itself is an achievement for me, that I am doing what I really want to do in life.
So, Neil, as we come towards the kind of end of this podcast interview, I would like to ask you that what are the plans of Neil Neeraj Music for the next 2 to 3 years?
So we are looking out for big budget movies, to get our sound onto. Along with that, definitely we want us to be composing for the major labels, and at the same time, some of the independent artists with whom we are already working with, like Bhagesh Hendre, Sagar Bhatia, and a lot of them, we want those things to multiply several folds, and of course to be popular and people to be knowing us. And composing for a lot of films is what we really look out for.
So, what are the kind of brands for which you're working for right now?
So we've been fortunate enough to be working for Netflix, Amazon Prime, Z5, Hotstar. So our music can be, found on those channels. Apart from that, one achievement that we did have was that our music also runs on Apple TV, which is very rare for an Indian music composer, producer, director to be having their music on.
Wonderful.
So you can find our credits on that, and we were fortunate to be doing that movie as well. It was a short film by the name Hum Dono.
Okay.
So. Yeah.
So, I think you have some more plans, right?
Yes, we do, and we would really love to be working for independent artists to develop their YouTube, Instagram profiles. Some of them we already are working with, like Bhagesh Hendre, Sagar Bhatia. We did a couple of projects with them, and soon more to come.
So, how do you feel, that you spent 7 years where you have converted your, passion into profession? How do you feel about it?
I feel blessed.
Yeah, interesting.
I feel really blessed, and I would really want people to be following their passion. This is something that I think everybody should be doing, no matter what. Please follow your passion. Find what is your passion. How to find that passion is very simple. Just be in the zone where time stops, and just be in a space where nothing else matters. It's just you and the task that you're doing.
So, thank you for being a guest, Neil. It was really a pleasure to meet a doctor who's turned a music composer. In case you want to get in touch with Neil, all the links are provided in the description below. And do subscribe to this channel to listen to more inspiring stories of entrepreneurs. Thank you for watching.
Thank you.
Thank you.